But first, of course, we've got to start with the existential dread that is talking about where we're going with COVID. I mentioned it last night. We've got fucking story after story after story after story after story after story after story of fucks just like this dude. We're in the hospital saying, oh, I regret not taking the vaccine now. But still, we have a deluge of misinformation all over Facebook. Let's hear from him.
Hey, everybody. Supposed to come on again. Say hello.
We can barely hear him for the fucking tubes.
They call it pulmonary. I see where everybody is focused on the COVID patients. This place was basically empty with COVID last week, and now it's full. So it is growing, and it is getting stronger. Hate to hear, lost a couple acquaintances in the past 24 to 36 hours. COVID.
We're talking about COVID. Cuomo has nothing to do with anything. We've done the Cuomo story. It's bullshit. He should resign. He's not going to. He's going to get impeached. I don't know what the fuck else there is to talk about. But right-wingers just want to divert from actual information and talk about nonsense. And I'm sick of it. Yeah, and if you start posting quotes and shit in my chat, you're going to get banned. I don't want to have to ban anyone. I want to stand for free speech. I'm all about free speech. But unfortunately, there are people that have ulterior motives that want to post bullshit in my chat and then get me removed from YouTube. So I'm going to have the moderators be a little bit heavier on the bans. Because for some reason, idiot-ass right-wingers don't want someone up here talking about facts like me. Because they're morons. Or they're literally evil.
This filter strain is something else. I would ask you, if you thought that you had to sit down.
I mean, listen to this. This is an 8-minute long video. If you had given me the copy of everything he said, I would have been able to say it in a fucking, 45-second little blip. The dude's taking 8 minutes to get this out because he's having such trouble breathing. But idiots still want to come in here and talk about misinformation dealing with COVID.
And plan your goodbyes and funeral. Or go get the COVID vaccine. What you do? I'd hope to God that all my friends.
God ain't gonna save you, dude. God ain't gonna save you.
Amen.
And if you actually believe in God, then God sent the fucking virus. God wants you dead.
That's a sobering thought, of which I have done. I have planned. Another thing I'd like to talk to you about He is sharing.
Sharing is caring. I assume he's going to go on to say, like, you need to share in responsibility and get your fucking vaccine so you don't end up like Travis Campbell. Apparently, he's been posting every day from his Facebook. This is one of his latest posts. I hope he's not too sick to post yesterday and today, because this was the latest post that he had up. Article that I was reading said he had been posting every day. So, dude, I hope you're not taking a turn for the worse. But also, like, we've been saying it this whole time. Just get vaccinated. Jesus. The data is clear. Fitness enthusiast, 42, who rejected the vaccine, dies of COVID. Fitness enthusiast. A fit and healthy 42-year-old who loved climbing mountains and lifting weights has died of COVID-19 after refusing to get vaccinated, leaving his twin sister and mother heartbroken. The two women warned others not to think they are invulnerable to the dangers of the virus. The father of one, John Ayers, a construction expert from Southport in Maryside, is described by his sister, Jenny McCain, as the fittest, healthiest person I know. He added that her brother had been climbing Welsh mountains and camping in the wild just 4 weeks before his death. He was left in intensive care after catching coronavirus and told his consultant before he was ventilated that he wished he had been vaccinated. His twin said his death was a tragedy. Danielle, somebody needs to ban you. That is bullshit. Now, the problem with the vaccines is that if everybody just keeps passing it around, it will indeed develop vaccine immunity. That is a possibility. And that's why we need to get it under control. But the idea that the variants are coming from the vaccinated is fucking stupid! How does somebody come in here and say such a stupid fucking statement? I wish you people could feel embarrassment. Meanwhile, a city councilman, I think we talked about this last night, anti-vaxxer, mocked the vaccine. Dickinson City councilman dies days after contracting COVID-19. Happened in Galveston County, Texas. At age 45, Dickinson City Council member H. Scott Apley, an avid COVID denier and anti-vaxxer, passed away after testing positive for COVID-19 on Wednesday, days after posting anti-vaccination memes on his social media. After having taken to Twitter in April of this year to criticize Dr. Leanna Wen for touting vaccine efficacy. I've said it a million times, you don't tug on Superman's cape. You don't tempt fate, fuckers! Meanwhile, China is back to lockdowns and is ordering mass testing in Wuhan as COVID outbreak spreads.
2019. A seafood market in Wuhan, China was shut down after officials reported that it was connected to an outbreak of...
I believe this isn't a piece having to do with what we're reading. China suspended flights and trains, canceled professional basketball league games, and announced mass coronavirus testing in Wuhan on Tuesday as widening outbreaks of the Delta variant reached the city where the disease was first detected in late 2019. While the total number of cases is still in the hundreds, they are far more widespread than anything China has dealt with since the initial outbreak that devastated Wuhan in early 2020 and over time spread to the rest of the country and the world. China has not eliminated but largely curbed COVID-19 at home with quick lockdowns and mass testing to isolate infected people whenever new cases pop up. Like you're supposed to do, instead of just letting it run fucking wild. Most previous outbreaks didn't spread far beyond a city or province. This time, cases have been confirmed in more than 35 cities in 17 of China's 33 provinces and regions. Cities of Nanjing and Yanghao have canceled all domestic flights, and Beijing has halted long-distance trains from 23 stations. The Chinese Basketball Association said that matches of its men's professional league would be suspended because of the pandemic. Wuhan, a provincial capital of 11 million people in central China, is the latest city to undergo citywide testing. 3 cases were confirmed there on Monday, its first non-imported cases in more than a year. They were among 90 new cases confirmed nationwide the previous day. The National Health Commission said Tuesday of those 61 were locally spread, 29 among people who had recently arrived from abroad. Now, we had mentioned that cases had started decreasing in the UK, and researchers aren't exactly sure what caused that. Now, we are starting to see another uptick of cases over the last couple of days. So, still holding out for more information about exactly what is going on in the UK. Because a lot of right-wingers have already started touting the UK lifting restrictions and their cases going down. But apparently, they're not decreasing anymore. They're holding pretty steady. A doctor has called misinformation a hallmark of authoritarianism, and he is correct. GOP is pushing anti-vax disinformation and acting like an authoritarian regime. God damn, I could have told you that forever ago. Dr. Peter Hotez has been battling vaccine disinformation for years, but he was still shocked to see United States senators like Ron Johnson peddling anti-vaxxer agitprop. Historically, that is what authoritarian regimes do. Anti-vaccine, anti-science aggression has extended to the individual scientists. Correct. And it's just more of the GOP's assault on anything remotely resembling educated, smart people. Because you have to assault smart people because only dumb people fall for their bullshit. So the goal is to make smart people just so cynical that they give up on actually trying to win arguments. Because instead of getting through to people, you get people like this dumb fuck whose cognitive dissonance is so strong. He's like, obviously there's no getting through to you. There's no getting through to you, dumb fuck. You're the idiot here. Once again, I'm very proud of the picture I made of him. They did this in China, where scientists who tried to raise the alarm about COVID were brutally repressed, and that is what is going on right now by elected members of the United States Congress, and we've got to do something about it. And we see this over and over again with the GOP. Like their assault on athletes who won't stand for the fucking pledge. And they always compare it to China. That's a weird thing. In China, they make you pledge allegiance to the fucking party. I'm still stunned they had that Chinese dissident on Fox. And she was talking about how the protests against the national anthem reminded her of China. What? How? Why? Why do you need to show your allegiance to the GOP by trying to delegitimize science? It shows this lack of understanding of American history. Our nation is a nation built on science and technology, right? Or it's built on our great research universities and land-grant universities. And this is what allowed us to defeat fascism in World War II and the Cold War and make such great progress in HIV/AIDS is through science. And this bizarre twist that is being patriot means you have to attack science and scientists. That's something I never would have imagined. But now we can all see the impact. Coronavirus cases peaking in Florida. ICUs packed in Arkansas, more than 50,000 dead in Texas. From the pro-life party. This is the destructive nature of the disinformation campaign that we've allowed to go unchecked for so many years, and now we're paying the price for it in a huge way. This is devastating for whole regions of the country, and it's going to have devastating consequences for the South and some of the Mountain West states, and it's going to show itself in young people being hospitalized. You see so many young people with long COVID. And the frustration is you see it coming, and not being able to manage it is extremely frustrating for me. That was from Hotez, Dr. Peter Hotez. That was his quotes. It's extremely frustrating for me, who has been talking about it for weeks now. I've seen it coming. All completely preventable.